It's been a few weeks since we did a weekly update, so today is, I have no idea what the date is other than Sunday. It's like the 20th, 21st maybe.
21st, I think.
So I'll come over here to the apple trees to start with. This tree here is still in bloom somewhat. I didn't notice any fruit sets on it yet, but I'm sure there is some. Actually right there's a couple fruit sets them are already pollinated. But this tree right here was blooming 2 weeks ago-ish, maybe. And it has fruit sets all over the place.
Oh, wow.
There, up there, right there, right there.
Clear up.
There is gonna be some serious applesauce making this summer. So, yeah, there's lots of them on there. Hopefully, who knows how they'll turn out, but hopefully they do all right. The tree we just looked at first, it still has blooms on. Normally they bloom at the same time, but this year they did not. So who knows what's going to happen.
But you gave them a good trimming.
Did trim them pretty good, and it was cold when this in here bloomed. It was cold. It actually snowed 2 different days with this in flower. And froze a couple days, and thank God it didn't kill the apples. So hopefully the tree's strong enough to fruit all those. There's a lot on there, a lot on there. This garden here is fully planted out. I'm sure if you watched the video I put out Saturday, which was actually 2 weeks old. I think, no, actually we didn't. We still had the beans to do. We just did the carrots and the lettuce in that video. The peas are looking good. The peas and spinach down along this trellis, they're doing really well. I need to get the peas over to the trellis, but and the spinach is looking really good too. You can see it better down this side because they're doing really good. The onions are doing good, kales and all that, everything. Also the carrots, you can't really tell so much from here, but they're germinating fairly well. Probably at this point it's probably 50% maybe germinated. Lettuce and garlic, it's always good. One more. While I'm this close, I might as well harvest the asparagus. And that's how I harvest. I just break it off. Once it gets skinny, I don't harvest it anymore. I never broke a little higher than I'd like. Yeah, when it's about the size of a pencil, I quit harvesting. Unless there's sometimes like this when I missed. And these here was missed whenever they were prime and ready. This one here is about borderline of what I would harvest. I think I'll just let it go. That's about as small as I would let them get to harvest them. Let's walk up here. Here's the sunchoke bed. We planted it out, I don't know, 2 weeks. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago in that video I posted yesterday. We ain't been putting videos up lately because our computer took a crap, but we got a different one now, so hopefully I'll figure it out. But these here's 2 weeks, and a lot of those were in there already, which we didn't harvest them all last year, which we thought we did, but we didn't get them all.
Even the chickens didn't get them all.
Yeah, the chickens didn't get them all. In here, I just watered in here. We got tomatoes and onions. Over here we got ginger. There's 3 gingers popping up on this side over here. And we got tomato and onion because I had 1 tomato left that I planned to put in here, so I put it in. But there's 3 gingers starting to come up. They're pretty small right now. 3 that I noticed anyway. Like there's one. Right here's one. This in here's actually got 2 shoots coming out of it, and then there's one right there. The tomatoes are looking good though. I'm gonna soon need to trellis those, put them on a string. Also, if you like the shirts, you can order one on our online store. I'll put a link to it below. We have these shirts, and we have a couple different shirts, but they're pretty nice. I like them. They're nice and lightweight. And they were made local to us, so Try to keep stuff local, as local as possible. And down here where the chickens were all winter, we have 2 mountains of compost. I just flipped these yesterday, both piles, this pile and that pile both. This pile here, it's probably not hot yet, but actually it's starting to heat up again. But
Stand up and see how tall it is compared to you.
Yeah, the other one's about the same size. Maybe actually it might be just a wee bit bigger. But this here's broke down for 2 weeks. After I piled it up, this is the 3rd time I flipped this one. I only flipped that one once. But it's definitely some good looking compost. If it's cool next weekend, I'll put it in the garden. If not, I won't. While we're up this way, we might as well show the chickens. I doubt you've seen these out. They've been outside for about 2 weeks actually.
But actually outside.
Just a couple days. They were in, we did keep them in the house to begin with at first for like a week or a little over a week. Never let them out, and then we let them out so they could find their way back in. And you still got to coax them inside a little bit at night, but
not
all in
all
all,
of
they're
them.
not too bad. They're starting to get pretty big. They're starting to grow up. They were 1st of April, so they're almost 2 months. They're probably 9 weeks old. No, 7 weeks. Sorry, about 7 weeks old probably. Perennials, greenhouse is it's still a greenhouse. There's a lot out of it that you wouldn't have seen, and there's still a lot in there that needs to go.
We've sold a lot of fruit trees.
Sold a lot of fruit trees. We ain't got many of them left. I think 30 out of the 60. We bought 60, and I think there's 31 left. So those are to the point now. We're going to pot those up this week coming. So
and the price
will go up on them. So, but there ain't a whole lot left. Hanging basket wise, we got a handful. They're right here. She just pulled them down. That's all. Only petunias, and then we got 6 more. So and we got, as you can see here, it's getting pretty empty in here. And we've took to the auction and sold a lot of stuff, and we keep planting regular. We ain't planted, I think the last time we planted about a week ago, a bunch of seeds, and that's the end of it. So we're not planting any more seeds for the auction anyway. We'll definitely plant more for here. So now let's go down here and look. With these chickens. They've been there for probably a week. Probably 2 weeks. They've been here 2 weeks. I want them to tear the ground up a little bit more than they are. They're not tearing it up like I wish they would. I want to put buckwheat and some flowers in here for a cover crop. Sunflowers and some buckwheat and some crimson clover and field peas. I just want to put a cover crop in this area. For a future garden or whatever we decide to do here, but so they're going to hopefully next week they'll go back where they were a couple weeks ago.
You going to talk to the camera?
They always talk. Some of them's pretty noisy.
Like Trump.
Yeah, she is pretty noisy. Raspberries, they're doing really good. Most of them. Some of them never came back, like this one. Actually, it did too.
Oh, yeah,
it's getting
is.
some new on it. I don't know. I think we put 90 in, and I never counted how many we didn't start yet. But there's a lot that did not come up. But there's some of them that didn't come up is getting new growth at the root level, so the roots didn't die off, just the stems did. So hopefully everybody that bought will be that way too. They are noisy. This garden, we've been working on it when we had time. I worked on it for the most part yesterday. I worked on it for a few hours. Not as long as I'd have liked to have, but for a few hours. We've got wood chips in the walkways, compost in just the top 3 beds. I ran out of compost, so last year's compost, so I only got compost to here. Got wood chips. Look, I think it looks good. That bed right there has beets. I put beets in that bed yesterday. in this bed here. I put beets in it yesterday, so this bed here's got to get a trellis put in it, and we got a fair bit more to do. Then we got to put a fence around it, keep the dang deer out. But hopefully by this time next week or shortly thereafter, we'll have this hopefully ready to plant. Need to mow too, if you didn't notice. But mowing's overrated. Got the comfrey coming up. Horseradish here against the comfrey there. So a lot of these trees that we put in here last year aren't coming up. Some of them. Well, this one here's got growth at the bottom, but nothing on that stick. So I'll probably cut that stick off. It's a peach of some sort. Who knows what it'll be underground. Yeah, so that's that. A lot of the trees I put in this year, most of them has green on, but they all don't. So it is what it is. In our potato patch, I need to mow around it, and I'll do that tomorrow evening when I get home. But the potatoes are definitely coming up.
Yeah.
All of them. I think. Well, I can't say all of them. I never dug up to look see if all the potatoes are sprouted, but they're all coming up. The white potatoes down here aren't coming up as good as the reds, but they're still coming up pretty nice. So that's about the end of the update. I don't know if anything else I need to update you on, but
we got our sweet potato slips.
Got sweet potato slips. Yeah, we have onion sets. Anybody local that needs to put a garden in or has a few things they want to get, come on down. We're open. You can get on Facebook and see our hours. Or on our online store. Next Saturday starts the farmers market in Springs. We are going to use that as a pickup point, but we need to sometime, hopefully this week, we can get on and do that on our online store, so you can order it and I'll have it at the farmers market so you can pick it up there. Hopefully this week. If you want this week, you will next week for sure. It takes a good bit of time to do that. So look us up. If you need anything, we'll send it to you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, so please share it with your friends and family. So until we meet again, take care and God bless.